Today I rise with a deep sense of joy and optimism. With only 13 months left in my final term in this body, this package before us today serves as a silver lining, as it is truly what I believe demonstrates true statesman and stateswomanship that we all should embody as we endeavor to advance a better quality of life for all Michigan citizens. A great deal of focus has been given to prison reform and criminal justice reform, and we still have a great deal of work to do. However, today's package is a massive step in the right direction. As a member of faith, I was taught to do more than attend my home church, but to serve. And I've done that in our church's music ministry, in our nursing home ministry, and even in our prison ministry. And I have to say without hesitation that the prison ministry has been one of the most rewarding, attending many services at Huron Valley and even Ryan Correctional Facility. Seeing people, Mr. Speaker, who look just like you and I, who have turned their lives around, and once they've been released, they come to church and yet still not have an opportunity to find gainful employment. That has been very disheartening. This package, Mr. Speaker, I believe strongly in my faith, but I believe also that faith without works is dead. I have to applaud the chair of Judiciary from the 93rd District. His energy, dedication, and commitment to this issue is a breath of fresh air. And to our minority vice chair, whose bill just passed from the 75th District, who came to this body with a commitment to move expungements from the inception is noteworthy. Thank you. I believe their combined criminal justice task force can serve as a template of how we should move bipartisan packages in this body from this day forward. I've talked to many of our community activists across the state, many of them who have had an infraction with the law, but have turned their lives around, and their work is dedicated to the upliftment of others who simply need a fresh start. I want to take time to recognize their advocacy and their work: the Detroit Justice Center, Nation Outside, Just Leadership USA, Michigan Faith in Action Coalition, the Innocence Project, the National Expungement Week, Michigan Liberation, the ACLU, the Detroit chapter of the NAACP and the Legal Aid Society, the Detroit Recovery Project, and REAL. However, there's one significant judge who's dedicated her life to expungements throughout southeastern Michigan and has done it for countless years, over and over and over, before expungement really became so fashionable, Judge Deborah Thomas. He's dedicated her time for free for years. Hakeem Crampton and Darrell Woods are a couple of others who are dedicated to this work in the city of Detroit. With hundreds of thousands of Michigan citizens currently in battle with the inability to make an honest living due to perhaps a mistake that they made many years ago, we are doing the work that extends access to the pursuit of happiness. So I encourage my colleagues to support House Bill 4985 that would reform the expungement process for people across the state. In Wayne County alone, it is estimated that 133,000 additional people could become eligible for expungements if this package is enacted based on the estimations of Detroit officials. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of Michiganders who have already taken responsibility for their mistakes in the past still face difficulties with getting their lives back on track, and this is hurting our economic ecosystem. Many of those with past convictions are prevented from expunging their records and getting a fresh start, and today we're correcting that. Due to the narrow focus and stringent eligibility requirements within our current Michigan law, my bill in this bipartisan expungement package, House Bill 4985, would allow for non-violent felonies and misdemeanors committed during a one bad night to be consolidated into fewer offenses when pursuing expungement. Expanding eligibility for these types of offenses to those who did not assault anyone, who did not use a weapon, or receive a maximum penalty of greater than 10 years. but broke more than one law within the same 24-hour, recognizes the humanity of our community members. Because after all, no one is perfect. And as you heard from our member from the 1st District, who now also serves on the Michigan Joint Task Force on Pretrial and Jail and Incarceration, truly turned her life around. And certainly not just the Detroit caucus, but our entire body should be proud of her sharing her story today. Some of us have ended up having worse bad days than others. And so that's why my bill, which speaks to one bad night or one bad day, will be addressed in this package. Increasing eligibility by allowing Michiganders to consolidate their convictions makes it easier on the person applying for expungement, streamlines the process, and can get our residents back on track for success much quicker. And in the midst of the skilled trades gap that's only widening in the state of Michigan, this bill and the larger package will effectively combat one of the greatest labor crises our state faces going forward. We need to do everything we can to encourage people to pursue careers in skilled trades. And as we open up even more car manufacturing and other agencies and other manufacturing companies, we want to open the floodgates and the doors for people to get back to work in Michigan by extending and expanding expungement reform, which we should absolutely include expungement reform to help Michiganders move forward and become eligible, as I highlighted, to work towards certifications in skilled trades and so much more. I encourage, despite even perhaps some that might challenge the importance of this bill, the importance of this bipartisan work, we are actually leading in Michigan. The nation can look to the work that we've done today in this body and be proud. I'm encouraging a yes vote on not just my bill, but all of the bills in this package today, but certainly on House Bill 4985. I'm asking all of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to vote yes to giving Michiganders a fresh start. We all should hear the call, hear the quest, and hear the question, where is my fresh start? Today, voting yes secures their fresh start. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.